peace, love, prosperity, abundance, self-love, self-care, wisdom, knowledge, patience, understanding all the four corners of the earth, standing A, standing A, standing A, standing A, standing A, standing A. Yeah, I know when I first came to America in high school, them high school kids were bad. They were like, you understand that? I said, what the hell is that? They're like, how you African? You don't understand. I said, bitch, I don't know what the fuck that shit was. I'm not cursing. It just, I'm not cursing. I didn't say like that. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't know what that was. Not until I saw the movie, The Gods Might Not Be Blamed. And yeah, they were like, I was like, oh, that's where they got it from. They think every African is like that. Yep. And I had one lady ask me, so in Africa, do y'all wear clothes? I said, no, we don't. I was butt naked. I sat on the plane butt naked. When I got to the airport, my mama brought some clothes, and that's when I put on clothes. Oh, yeah, I did. Trust me. You see me 5'3". I have a mouth. Then somebody said, in Africa, do y'all have buses? I said, no, we don't have buses. When I'm going to school, I call the elephant. Ooh. The elephant will run and come. Sometimes I even call the giraffe. The giraffe will come and I'll hop on it. And they will take me to school. They were like, for real, you hopping on giraffes and an elephant? You really take an elephant to school? I said, yeah. So you hop on it? I said, yeah, I'll climb a tree. Because it's bigger than me. So I climb a tree and then boom, hop on it. One time my English teacher heard me talking and she was dying. She said, you funny. They believe that. I said, yeah, let them believe it. Ignorant. What make you think that we didn't wear clothes? I came from a house, a big ass house with a whole compound. To live in a country that is so cold, I can't even go outside and play. I wanted to go back to Africa so bad. But anyway, thank you for watching. I love you. Peace, love, prosperity, abundance. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about, I did my past life regression. This is the part 2. The first one is like, oh, I'm gonna count to 3, walk the stairs, open the door, and you see your grandmother there. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, open the door, walk the stairs. I don't see anything. The man go, you don't see your grandmother? I said, no, I don't. We tried the second time, again, I'm gonna count to 3, walk through the door, open the door. I did that, I didn't see anything. Everything was black. He said, you don't see the light. I said, everything is black. Then my grandmother told him to tell me to go to our kitchen. So I heard him saying, thank you. Then he go, hey, princess, can you go to your kitchen? Now, growing up in Africa, we used to cook outside, right? I've talked about this before. We used to cook outside. I'm like, go to the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? But when it rains, we go to like one of the rooms that we considered kitchen. I still wasn't connected. Then he asked again, and my grandmother said, tell her to go to the living room, which was the bedroom. My grandmother's bed was there by the TV and the sofa. As soon as he said that, I was right there in the living room. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is my grandmother's bed. This is the TV. This is the refrigerator. This is the wall clock. This is the chair. I'm literally like describing everything. Laying there, eyes closed. And and the gentleman go, I want you to look at the bed. Look over the bed. I looked over. And my grandmother was sitting there, just like the way I'm sitting. One leg in there, one leg is out. So she's sitting like this. One leg is like that, and one leg is straight up. As soon as I see my grandmother, I was sobbing. So. That was the first thing I asked. Why did you leave me? Why did you leave me? You just couldn't wait 3 months. I wanted you to see my son. I'm like, I wanted you to see your great-grandson. And she said, I see you. I see everybody. I can be everywhere. Right? And then I went through the things that I needed to, things that she told me. And then, when that phase was done, I went to another phase. I had to release certain traumas, in the past, in the spiritual realm, or let me say, when they say past, it could be something that happened to you yesterday. It could be something that happened to you last year. That's past. Future, when you get reading, they'll be like, oh, the past, future, present. The future could be maybe tomorrow, the next day, whatever that happens next week. Next week is considered future. Isn't it funny how I don't do tarot, but I know all of this? Okay. So I went to the next phase. I had to forgive. Then the next phase, I had to forgive, which I said I've talked about this before. I had to forgive my dad and my mom and a whole lot of stuff. And after the past life regression, I did integrated energy healing. You know what I'm saying? I did that. I did that energy healing. I did that. I did breath work. I did breath work, and the lady that I did the breath work, it's like breathing exercise, breath work. The lady that I did that exercise with, yeah, yo, y'all need to. I want y'all to experience things, man. The lady is Asian. I've talked about this before. She's Asian. Through the breathing, the exercise we was doing, yeah, my third eye opened, and I seen. Look, your third eye is this eye, right there on your forehead. The eyes you have here is one of them right there. It opened, and I'm looking at me, this lady and myself. We were together in Asian's time. I didn't say Asian's Egypt, Asian's time. We were both women. We were tall, maybe 5'11". We were not black, but I can say the best way I can describe it, we would say we were persons of color. Our hair was straight. When I say straight, not like white people hair, but it was a lot. It was different, and we didn't wear these type of clothing. It was more, it's like them warriors type of outfit, but I was I was astonished, you know. I was like, whoa, this is not he said. He said, I'm looking at this. When the whole thing was done, you know, it was 6 hours healing. I've done a lot of healing to be where I am today. That's why sometimes when I watch a lot of these spiritual videos, it don't resonate with me because they're not doing the inner work. They really not. We call it shadow work. I'm crying. Mind you, I'm doing this and I'm crying. When I was young, I used to get a little pop-out from school. I know all of this were traumas that was inside of me. I had to release this and I'm crying my eyes out. When the whole session was done, do you know the lady gave me, I think, $40 to take a taxi home? She said, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I never gave no client money. Money that I paid her. I paid her for the services. It was 3-hour services. The healing lasted 6 hours. She gave me 3 hours extra for free and gave me money to take a cab home because when we was done, it was late. She said, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I ain't never gave no client money to go home. But I'm glad I met you. I'm telling her, I said, that was the first time I seen a human aura. So I'm telling her what I saw and she laughed. She said, when you came in here, I knew it. I felt it. I knew it. I knew that we were soulmate. We've been together before in a previous life. And you coming in here today is not an accident. I was confused. She said, forget about the body. Just like he was able to see you in a previous life, the same spirit, but in a different body. And in this spirit, you are considered a black woman, and I'm considered a Chinese woman. That tells you that in the next life, if we agree to come back, you could be a white man. You could be an Indian. You could be an Arabian man. You could be a tree. You could be a dog. You could be anything. You're just a spirit experiencing life in different forms. That was the day I learned that we are more than our body. That was the day I learned that I've been more than Princess Lynn. I have lived different lives. So if you're wondering how my awakening started, it started when I lost my mama. And funny enough, she's one of my spirit guides. And her mama is dead too. I know they link up. And her mama is one of my spirit guides too. I never met my grandmother's mother. But now I know. Sometimes she comes around and I could tell you when I can differentiate my grandmother and my great grandmother. Since birth, there was something about me. There's one person in my family that knew that I was chosen. My uncle said when I was 5 years old, she had a dream that I had dreadlocks. Basically, I'm a priest, you know, or like a spiritual person, a very powerful being, you know. He didn't believe it. 2018, when I went 2018 when I went to Africa and he saw me with locks. He could not believe me. And certain things I say to him. One day he left me a message and said, Princess, I never told nobody this, not even your grandmother. I said, what? He said, when you came home and I saw you with the locks, I said, God, Lee, she's the one. It wasn't just a dream, it was revealed to him that out all the family, it was me. And sometimes I talk to her. I talk to him, my bad. I say things to him and he like, yeah, you chosen for real. You know, and I appreciate you for asking. Some of you, you may have lost your son and that pushed you to wanting to know the truth. You know, it's always in you, but there's always going to be one thing that will make you like it's like a force, you know. I don't know if you ever squirt before. The first time I had a squirt, it was like, or maybe if you ever had an orgasm before, you know what I'm saying? It was like, it's like a wave, and I'm trying to hold it, and it's like, ah! You know, once you relax and you let it, you give in, and I'm like, ah! Yeah, it was a powerful force. And I remember one of the things my grandmother said when I did my past life regression. She said, I can see everybody, I can be everywhere. And she told me that it will all make sense. And it did. It makes sense now, because if she was in Africa, the only time I'll get to see her, maybe if I do a video call when she was alive, I used to do that, or me going home to see her, right? But now she's a spirit. If I want her here, she can be here. She can be in the United States. She can go to Germany to go be with my moms. She can go to Belgium to be with my uncle. She can go to Ghana and be with my other uncle. You know what I'm saying? And so it all makes sense. It's easier for me to connect with her now that she's a spirit than it was for me to just call and be like, hey, mama. Even though I missed that, it's really easier for me to connect with her spiritually. And the timing, you know, when I signed my contract, the timing was she was going to be 88 years old. She will have to push me on my journey. And the only way that can happen is her leaving, like dying at that age, 88. And then through the grieving, it will push me into wanting to meet her. And that will lead me into my super awakening. So yeah, I hope this video makes sense. And if you have any questions, if you want me to talk about something, feel free, leave the comment, or you can send me an email, because some people send me email, africanafrica37@gmail.com, africanafrica37@gmail.com. All right, and I can talk. If you have a topic that you want me to discuss, just shoot it out, you know, I'll talk about it. If something that you don't understand that you want to know, ask me. If I know it, I will share the knowledge with you. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you for asking. I hope this message helps somebody out there. Some of you might lose your mom, you might lose your dad, you might lose your dog. It might even be your home. It might be your job. It's something that you lost that pushed you to becoming better. You know what I'm saying? It's like you become better. It's something that gave me that push, and it was my grandmother. This is how my awakening truly started. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I love you. Now I'm going to cook my spaghetti. I'm going to cook my macaroni. I am hungry, y'all. Look at my hair. You see how long my hair is? And this is still curled up. You see it? This is my pajamas before you judge me. You see how long it is? Look. And it's curled up, meaning that when the curls is out, it's going to be super straight. Look. You see how long? Look. How low can you go? How low can you go? Look at this. This is all my hair. Look. Don't hate me because I'm here. I love you. One love.